seconds and counting. Team.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish, and we have a Woj bomb for you guys. Apparently, James Harden is seriously considering to return to the Houston Rockets in free agency this July if he decides to not re-sign with the 76ers. And Woj elaborates that this was the plan all along, and that Harden was planning to return to Houston sooner rather than later. And Harden, he did allude to this in his Instagram post when he originally left the Rockets. He's like, the marathon continues, and I have some work to be, there's some work to be done and whatnot. And if Harden actually does come back to Houston, this would have been the craziest trade in NBA history for us to just give up James Harden for 2-3 years and allow us to draft Jalen, Jabari, get multiple pick swaps, and him returning back. That would be pretty huge. I mean, with a reloaded Rockets roster, a veteran point guard now, as that's his role now on the 76ers. He's more so of a point guard role, a more facilitator role, more of a pass first and score first type of guy. And that's a really nice change. And I don't think he's washed at all. You know, he recently had a career high 21 assists. He still commands the attention from opposing defenses. He still is a difference maker for us. And I know that a lot of people feel like very two different opinions about James Harden because they don't like how he left. And although it was a bitter ending, the way James Harden left, it would be nice if James Harden did return because he still cares for the community. He still has a lot of connections here. And so it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be really good if James Harden did return for us because we desperately need a veteran point guard, a veteran presence on this team. And James Harden does just that. And I think the problem right now with KPJ for the KPJ experiment at point guard is that it's been too much for him. Whereas he's been having to choose whether to score first or pass first. And so I think lessening the load for him and taking on a more comfortable role for him where he's more of a scoring wing, I think that's better for KPJ, or he become a six man. But whatever the case may be, I think James Harden helps out the development of this young team because there's not a lot of direction going on. I don't know if that stems from Silas not coaching that well, and who knows if a new head coach comes on if James Harden comes here. But I think Harden definitely does help the development of Jalen, Jabari, creating open looks for them. Imagine all the lobs to Şengün or something. And as far as a possible contract for James Harden, the main concern is how long the contract is going to be. So, because we will eventually have to pay Jalen, Jabari in 3-4 years' time. So, if Harden signs a 2-year deal with us, it probably wouldn't be that bad because we won't, and he's probably going to be the main signing we're going to have. We might have to let some guys go, unfortunately, and we're probably going to have to pay James Harden a huge bag, and that's totally fine because we have the salary cap at least to pay James Harden for those 2 years. If you make it 3 years or so, then it does get a little bit tricky. But I think a 2-year deal would be perfect for us because it doesn't coincide with when we have to pay Jalen and Jabari and whatnot. And I think those are the main core guys, Jalen, Jabari. Everyone else is potentially on the table to trade. I know we just extended KPJ, but I don't think he's untouchable by any means. And I don't know if Harden is saying this because he's using this to leverage himself in contract talks with the 76ers, but I don't know. It sounds like something it sounds too perfect of a story to just for a leverage, right? It just sounds like this was actually the plan all along, and I worry that no one's going to trade with Stone if this is what's going to happen. Is that like they trade for him, Harden, and then he just comes back to the team, and that just would be a major fleece by us. So who knows if people will continue to trade with us at that point? But I think just imagine just a lineup of KPJ, Green, Harden. You stagger them, and the thing is, people think that this is going to ruin the Rockets' tank for whatever reason, but this upcoming draft is the last year where we actually own our own pick. The years after that, OKC is owning our pick. So the tank basically is over next season, or this season at least. because there's no point to lose games next season. And so, and it also depends on whether or not we should sign Harden based on who we get in the lottery. Say we get Victor Wembanyama miraculously, then that would be amazing to get Harden on the team. But say we get the second overall pick and draft Scoot Henderson, then getting Harden would definitely hurt his play time. And I don't think it would be good to have that, because what we want in all is just a lead playmaker. So if that's the case, then I don't think we should sign Harden. But other than that, if we get so in the scenario where we do get Scoot Henderson, I don't think we should sign Harden. Another con is that he has had his fair share of injury concerns, but that's even then, I still think James Harden can definitely elevate this roster to a playoff team. And that's what's most important, is getting the young guys, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Shengun, KPJ, all the other young guys, some playoff experience, because we can't afford to tank anymore. And getting playoff experience at a very young age is going to pay a lot of dividends in the future. But that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on a potential Harden reunion to Houston. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.